All right, so here are the ingredients that I'm gonna use today, and chances are you probably already have them in your cabinet. Now, the main one for Rice Krispie treats are the actual Rice Krispies. You need these, you know, Snap, Crackle, Pop. I just got a box that is 255 grams. That doesn't matter, you will not use the entire thing. And they also have a recipe on the side of the box, but we're not gonna use that. We're gonna use my recipe today. But you do need these. Now, you're also going to need a set of marshmallows. Doesn't matter if you get the kind with the colors or the shapes, you just need some really delicious soft marshmallows. I am using jet puffed, and these should be pretty good. We're not gonna use all of these either, maybe half a bag. We'll see how I feel. Then, you wanna make sure that you use some really good vanilla extract. I love Watkins. This is my favorite brand for vanilla extract. It's pure, it's awesome, really strong flavor. Love this stuff. We're gonna add a little bit in there. We're also going to add just a wee bit of salt. Salt brings out the flavor, and anything that you use it in, you need just a pinch. And we're gonna add one of the most important ingredients for today, and that is sweetened condensed milk. This stuff is like liquid gold. I'm gonna show you how to use that in Rice Krispie treats, but it's gonna make it all nice and creamy and delicious. Now, the last ingredient that we're gonna use for our Rice Krispie treats is one of my favorite ingredients, not only because of its flavor, but because I'm from the South. And that ingredient is butter. Now, we're actually gonna make a brown butter for today. Brown butter is this process of cooking out all of the milk solids within the butter, and then you're left with this nuttier and richer flavor, and it's just going to enhance these Rice Krispie treats overall. They will become your favorite, and you'll be asked to bring them to every single party that you attend. This is how the butter starts off in the pan. I have my pan on medium-high heat. Okay. You don't want to take it too high because then it might melt too quickly. This is after about maybe a minute and a half of sitting in the pot. No need to stir it just yet. You can let it just sit there and melt entirely. And then this is how the butter will look at the very end. This is after it has bubbled over and then it's settled back down. And this is a good color for your brown butter. Don't take it too far over though, because it will be bitter. Now, the brown butter is done, and I have moved it from the heat because I don't want it to brown any longer than what it has to. In the meantime, I was able to set up my pan for the Rice Krispie treats. I am using a 9 by 13 inch pan. It does not matter what kind of pan you use, just make sure it's large enough for your Rice Krispie treats. I also lined it with parchment paper, and I put some little clips on it to hold the parchment paper down. These will make your life a lot easier. If you see them in the store, buy them. I assure you it will save you time. I am also using these utensils. I need a wooden spoon. This will work wonderful in getting all the stickiness of the marshmallow. And then I'm using a backup tool to help me get the stickiness off this one, this one, this one. You get the idea. We're going to use both of them. Just like it has one. Now, in your large pot where your brown butter is, we're gonna add in the marshmallows. I think I started off with like half a bag, stirred that up, and then over time added a few more of the marshmallows. You really wanna let these marshmallows melt down almost completely. You don't wanna do it when they're still super big. You want the cereal to be able to bind to something, and that will be the melted marshmallows. Now, once I grab the bag of Rice Krispies, I'm gonna eyeball just a cup or two of Rice Krispies to add to my marshmallows. And then I'm gonna make sure that I'm constantly watching to see if I need to add more or less Rice Krispies. And I've decided to go ahead and add more of them right now because I knew that I had more marshmallows than Rice Krispie treats. Just keep an eyeball on it, and you'll know exactly what to add and when between the marshmallows and your Rice Krispies. You can't go wrong, honestly, people. Now here is the secret ingredient that will make your Rice Krispie treats sing. We love sweetened condensed milk in our Rice Krispie treats because it makes them so creamy. I'm adding the vanilla extract to my sweetened condensed milk because it just makes it easier to incorporate into the rest of the mixture. And then I'm gonna pour this entire can into my Rice Krispie treats. Now I like really gooey Rice Krispie treats. But if you don't like them as soft, then only add about 1/4 cup to the actual pan, and then give that a stir. And as you begin to stir it and it hits the heat of the pan and the rest of the mixture, it will start bubbling, and that is totally okay. It is just doing what it's supposed to do, and that is supposed to make everything delicious. I'm also adding in about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Salt brings out the flavor in your food. So I want to make sure I'm adding this into the mixture because it's great even for sweet desserts. Don't forget salt, people. And seeing how wet my mixture is, I'm going back in with more Rice Krispie treats to kind of soak up some of that moisture. And I know that this is going to be a large batch, so I am super excited about that. Let's stir, 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 and we're going to see what we get in the end. Okay, we've combined all of the ingredients into the pan, and now it's time to transfer those said ingredients into our pot and allow them to cool. So, that took a lot more muscle than what I thought it was, but we got it done. Now, the goal is to allow these to cool, and as they come together, you will have these beautiful Rice Krispie treats. I'm gonna let these cool for about an hour, and you can allow them to cool on top of the counter, or you can put them in the fridge. It's totally up to you. I'm gonna pop mine in the fridge for an hour, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna slice. I did a quick freeze today because I'm super excited to eat these Rice Krispie treats. So I popped them in the freezer for like 15 minutes and they are ready to go. So now I'm gonna take these out and slice them. We're just free balling it here.
So this is love. So this is love. So this is what makes life.
I wonder what that would look like. But these are absolutely delicious. I remember my mother making Rice Krispie treats as a little girl. And she would use the traditional recipe, or she would buy the ones from the store, and they're both delicious, honestly. This is just a fancier Rice Krispie treat. So if you're going to a cookout, or having a play date, or just doing something simple this summer and you want a simple snack, this is the one to make.